Kalala Yahweh, Bosh Mamashak Yabasha, Shema Yashavela Yahweh Alahayanawa Ka Dabamashpaka. Shalom, may peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. All right, so we're going to get some edification out of this example here, right? Out of this open rebuke. Yes, this open rebuke is for the IUIC. So for those that may not be in the know, the congregation of IUIC, Israel United in Christ, decided to go overseas to Kenya and preach out in the streets of Kenya. Now, what we're going to observe here is these brothers in some great deal of folly as they took this bold stance to go way over to Kenya and try to wake up whatever Israelites are over there. Now, mind you, the land of Kenya is primarily Cushitic. They're descendants of Cush. If not direct descendants of Cush, they are a tribe of Cush, because their land is directly south of what was called the land of Cush, which includes Ethiopia, right? So the majority of these people that they're speaking to out there are Cushites. They are of the heathen nations. The majority of them are not trying to hear any of that rhetoric. And as we play this video, you're going to hear the folly of what they were saying before they got confronted by the authorities in that area. So I'm going to add my commentary, and then we're going to, of course, go to the precepts on this matter to get edification and rebuke the IUIC for their works of grandeur, right? Because we all know that this is just a flex that they're doing. This is a flex led by Bishop Nathaniel. My question is, why wasn't Bishop Nathaniel out there with them? But that's another story. That is another story. Let's let the video play.
I need to be replayed. Someone was very keen. I need to be replayed. Replay. From the start?
All right. So as we can see, you have the authorities right here speaking to these brothers in IUIC. And they're confronting the IUIC very much in hostility. You see the swords drawn. Swords in hand, right there.
Eventually, your side hustle might take off, and you've got some great opportunities to work with some new clients. One problem, though, you need to...
All right. So we hear the guy talking about King Solomon, and you're going to hear him ranting on that King Solomon was black, telling that to the people of Kenya, the heathens of Kenya. They not trying to hear none of that. And we're going to see that here in a second. But just with him leading with that rhetoric while he was out there, as if that made any difference with you being out there, stating that King Solomon was black. The majority of these people out here, the grand majority of them, don't even have any lineage to King Solomon. Listen here. I'm going to get a precept here. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So the fact that they took their asses way over there to Kenya to make this flex of preaching in the streets of Kenya, or trying to start another branch of their congregation out there in Kenya, it's an act of pride. It's an act of pride led by their leader, Bishop Nathaniel. There's no need to travel abroad like that with the motive being, oh, we're going to reach the scattered sheep of Israel overseas. No, this is what the internet is for. All right? This is what the internet is for. The internet will reach those scattered among the heathen nations. Not taking your ass over there directly and getting in their streets. All right, getting in their streets, preaching in their streets under a land of totally different laws that are way different than Babylon's. But I'm going to let it play here.
Somebody came to speak to the one who's been through lies all your life in these Christian churches. It's time to run the hell out of these churches. They're teaching you lies. The colors of King Solomon. The book of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 5.
Look, they're not trying to hear none of that. Guns are drawn, and they telling them to get y'all asses out of here. They're not trying to hear none of that. It doesn't pertain to them. And they know that. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 5. But all their works they do for to be seen of men. They make broad their phylacteries and enlarge the borders of their garments. So every time we see IUIC out doing their marches and things of that nature, it resorts to what Yahweh has said about the Pharisees in the book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 5. That fits them perfectly to a T with their shows of grandeur. Sirach, chapter 10, verse 7. Pride is hateful before Yahweh and man. Pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. So best believe Yahweh by Yahweh Shah put the spirit on these heathens to jump on IUIC's case. Best believe that, because they were acting in great pride. Their motive for being over there is by pride. Let it continue. Y'all fools are way in another country. Y'all are way in another country. Way overseas. With the authorities of that landmass telling you to get the hell out of here. And you all are trying to stand your ground to them in their country. Folly, 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 and more folly. As soon as they told you to let's go, y'all should have packed y'all stuff on and moved elsewhere. But no, y'all were acting in a spirit of pride. Your whole motive for being there is carnal. Sirach, chapter 10, verses 12 through 17. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from Allahayim, and his heart is turned away from his maker. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. We're going to see the IUIC get overthrown in this scenario, in this moment. When I get to letting the video play, we'll see. But I'm going to read these precepts before everything unfolds. Sirach chapter 10, verse 14. Yahweh hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. Verse 15. Yahweh hath plucked up the roots of the proud nations and planted the lowly in their place. Verse 16. Yahweh overthrew countries of the heathen and destroyed them to the foundations of the earth. Verse 17. He took some of them away and destroyed them, and hath made their memorial to cease from the earth. This guy told them to go like 3 or 4 times, and they're just standing there, stiff-necked. We're going to see how this is an error in a second, but I'm going to let the video play a little bit more.
How to quit smoking in 5 minutes. This brilliant trick allows you to stop smoking for good, whether you use cigarettes, marijuana, or vape.
Right there, it got physical. Right then and there, it got physical. And yet, they still trying to stand their ground because they're in a spirit of pride. Watch this. So, through the mercy of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, they were able to lead that scenario with their lives. Because the land of Kenya definitely has warlords. Why do you think those authorities are walking around with fully automatic weapons? That's how real it is over there. That's a third world country. And you're over there bucking up and trying to stand your ground to these people in their country. Look here. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 14. Yahweh Shah speaking. And whosoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. So as soon as these authorities came to you telling you you need to move around, y'all should have went ahead and moved around. But no, you were stiff-necked, you were hard-hearted, and you were full of pride. So, by the grace and mercy of the Most High, he put the spirit on them to throw tear gas at them instead of just emptying a clip on them. Matthew chapter 10, verse 15. Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. So we already know this particular country that they're in is going to get destroyed right with Babylon. It's a heathen nation, just like Babylon. Ran by the heathen, just like Babylon. Why are y'all over there? Y'all are only over there because of pride. All right. So yeah, got ran off and tear gassed and confronted with heavily armed individuals telling you to get the hell out of there. But yet y'all operated in pride. Y'all gave a message of pride. Solomon was black. That don't mean nothing. Y'all over there spitting the same rhetoric as a person in Pan-Africanism would expect. Because Pan-Africans think everything black is kinfolk. Nah, that's not what's up. And they showed y'all asses that too. They showed y'all asses that y'all are not the same. And ran y'all out of there with tear gas and automatic weapons ready. Because y'all are acting out of pride. Woe unto you. What did Yahweh Shah say about these matters, right? Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Y'all weren't being wise as serpents, taking y'all asses over there, trying to preach boldly in another country, a third world country at that. Y'all weren't being wise as serpents. And y'all definitely weren't being harmless as doves, trying to stand y'all ground in a spirit of pride with the authorities over there that got drawn automatic weapons. How else was the IUIC in folly here? Book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 25. Agree with thine adversary quickly, whilst thou art in the way with him, lest at any time the adversary deliver thee to the judge, and the judge deliver thee to the officer, and thou be cast into prison. Y'all were in so much of an offense to them that they threw tear gases at y'all asses. Tear gas is used in situations of rioting. So y'all were in the same stance as provoking a riot, being out there as deep as y'all were with your broad garments, making a show to be seen of men, and it almost got y'all cut off. Why wasn't y'all's general out there with you? It seems like he's actually out there in Kenya, as we see in this video here with him showing this incident and talking about this incident. What the hell's going on over there in the IUIC? Whoa, whoa, whoa. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Shalom.